Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I am your host, Louis Carlin. Thanks for joining me today. Lots to talk about, but real quick, if you're a fan of this YouTube channel, if you watch some videos, if you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. Again, please, just that subscribe button. Just click, hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's get into what we are going to talk about today. Let's start off. Huge match, April 4th, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Sakura Genesis, Kota Ibushi defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against New Japan Cup 2021 winner, Will Ospreay. And this is going to be just an absolutely incredibly amazing, fantastic, wonderful 18,000 star match. This is going to be one hell of a match. Just making sure I hit record, which I did. Thankfully, I don't got to start over. But this is going to be a terrific, terrific, terrific match. I cannot wait for this. Sunday, April 4th, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Sakura Genesis, Kota Ibushi with this brand new IWGP World title, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the IWGP Intercontinental Championship being combined into the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And man, if you miss this match, this is the you need to reconsider being a professional wrestling fan if you think about missing this match. This match is going to be absolutely dynamite. I can't wait for this match. Man, I'm just thinking about it gets me excited. I can't wait for this. This is going to be such a great one. Such a great one. And Will Ospreay, as we know, he won the New Japan Cup, and he earned a shot at Kota Ibushi. And he made some heelish moves after he won. He took out his valet. Well, her name escapes me. I'm sorry, but he hit her with a cutter. Bea Priestley. So he hit Bea Priestley with a cutter. Sorry, Bea Priestley. No disrespect to you, but he hit her with a cutter to prove that nothing is more important than winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Nothing is important than being number one, and even his love for Bea Priestley, who I think's his wife. If not, it's his girlfriend for sure. But that title means more to him than Bea Priestley. So that was a really, really awesome heel move by Will Ospreay. And when he did it at the end of the New Japan Cup, the crowd was just shocked. Just absolute silence. You could hear a pin drop. You know, it was just complete shock when he did that. And I know Kota Ibushi tried to move in to help her, but he was blocked off by Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan, and but that great move. But this is gonna be fantastic. And who do I think is gonna win this one? This is gonna be there's gonna be so many near falls in this one. The action is going to be just insane. We're going to see some insane moves. I can see this match going 35, 40, 45 minutes, close to an hour even. But when all is said and done, I really think that Kota Ibushi will successfully defend the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I think Kota Ibushi will win this match. I think they're setting up Kota Ibushi against Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, the next Wrestle Kingdom in January. I think they're setting that matchup. There was little hints of Kazuchika Okada. Not too thrilled with Kota Ibushi. They teamed 6-man tag team matches at New Japan Cup on a couple of occasions, and I don't know, Okada just didn't seem like he wanted anything to do with Ibushi. Just after the match was over, they won the match, went to the ref, raised my arm, and I'm out of here. I don't want to shake his hand. I don't want to communicate with him. I'm done. So he left. So there's a little tension. They're teasing a little tension there between Okada and Ibushi. And we'll see. I really think it's leading to a Ibushi Okada match at Wrestle Kingdom, which Ibushi will get the win back, of course. I think Ibushi's going to have the title for quite some time. But if you're a professional wrestling fan and you're listening to this podcast, you have to see this match. You have to see Kota Ibushi against Will Ospreay. This is going to be one for the ages, man. One for the ages. All right, man. No, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it is gets me excited, man. Okay, so Will Ospreay's faction, the United Empire. Um, there's going to be they have a mystery man, a mystery partner, a mystery secret weapons, as Jeff Cobb was saying. So the match at Sakura Genesis on April 4th. And I do want to point out that they're having a few Road to Sakura Genesis cards in which Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay will be on opposite sides. So we'll get a little taste of Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay at the Road to Sakura Genesis shows. I think there are 2 or 3. So we'll get a little taste, and they'll build up the feud a little bit. And then April 4th, they'll have that just tremendous match. But also on Sakura Genesis, as I mentioned, 6-man action, Shingo Takagi, Sanada, and Tetsuya Naito, Los Ingobernables de Japan, taking on Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, and a mystery partner, a mystery secret weapon. So there's a lot of speculation on who this secret weapon is going to be. People are saying, is it going to be Andrade? Is it going to be Marty Scurll? Is it going to be somebody from New Japan Pro Wrestling? Shota Umino I heard his name come up. Shota Umino is on excursion now in the UK, I think for Revolution Pro in the UK. A lot of speculation on who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Andrade. I don't think it's going to be Marty Scurll. The reason being, one, Marty Scurll has a few issues he's trying to sort out right now. But even if he wasn't having those issues, I don't think it would be Andrade or Marty Scurll. I think the person coming in is not going to be a leader type, because right now Will Ospreay is a leader. If Andrade comes in or Marty Scurll comes in, they could be perceived as the leader of the United Empire. And Will Ospreay right now is the leader. So I don't think they want to bring somebody in that can be perceived as the leader. So I rule those 2 out. And I'm going to talk about more about Andrade a little bit later on in the podcast. So who could it be? And Shota Umino will be a good addition, but I don't know if he's ready to come off excursion yet. I think he just went on excursion recently, maybe. I don't know, maybe about a year ago. Well, I don't know. It could be. There's a slight chance it could be Shota Umino, but actually, I shouldn't say slight. There's a chance it could be Shota Umino. But my thought is this: I think it's going to be Yo. Yo just came back. Sho and Yo, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Yo came back recently during the New Japan Cup final. And he said that he came to the ring and he said him and Yo are going to team up and they're going after the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championships against champions are El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So he said that they're going. So the match is made. It's going to be, as I said, Sho and Yo the challengers against the champions Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado. I think Sho is going to make a heel turn here. I think he's going to be that third man, and I think he's going to come out to participate in this match, but he's going to attack Yo immediately and leave Yo by himself, and Kanemaru and Desperado will successfully defend those tag team titles. That's what I'm thinking, because right now Sho and Yo, they don't need to be a tag team. Yo is doing tremendous as a singles wrestler. He's established himself as a single star. So I don't think we need to see Yo teaming anymore with Sho. And I'm sorry, did I say Yo established himself as a single star? It's Sho. It's Sho. I think I might have said Yo, but Sho is the one that has established himself as a single star. What am I thinking, man? I'm sorry. I must be thinking about this pineapple buble that I'm drinking here. But Sho is the one who's established himself as a single star, so he doesn't need to be in a tag team anymore with Yo. So I think Yo's going to come out, and if I got the names mixed up before, I apologize. But Yo's going to come out. He's going to turn on Sho, and he's going to be the third member of the United Empire, or I should say the third member, the fourth member. He's their secret weapon. He's going to be a third member of that triple threat match. I'm sorry, the 6-man tag team match, I should say. See, it's this. I better take a drink. I better take a drink of the buble. Buble is pretty good. If you don't drink Buble, if you want to get off like Coke or Pepsi, start drinking Buble. It's really good. But yeah, so that's my pick. I'm picking Yo to be the third man in that 6-man tag team match, and the newest member of the United Empire, and he will ultimately turn on Show, and they'll have a feud, and I guess they will put Yo over to make him more of an established show, because Show right now is basically an established single star in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's my pick. So we'll see if that comes true. So the New Japan Cup USA is underway. Well, it's not underway. It starts I think April 6th. Let me check here. What day is April? I think it starts April 2nd. It's either April 2nd or April 6th. I'm sorry. Let me pull it up here. I have but they have the brackets all set. And there we go. So the brackets are set. And I believe it starts April 2nd. If I'm incorrect, I apologize. But the brackets are as follows for the New Japan Cup USA. And the winner of this gets a title shot against Jon Moxley, who is the IWGP US champion. So we have Clark Connors, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Young Lion, against Leo Rush. Brody King, 1-on-1 with Chris Dickinson. And then on the other side of the bracket, Ren Narita versus Tom Lawler, and Hikuleo versus Fred Roser. So lots of talent in here. I'm a little disappointed that we're not seeing any Impact Wrestling talent. I'm a little disappointed we don't see any Impact Wrestling talent in here. I know, because Impact Wrestling and New Japan, they have the new the Forbidden Door has been kicked in, and they have the new working agreement. But it would have been nice to see like a Chris Bay in here, or an Eddie Edwards. But nonetheless, got a lot of talent in there. Leo Rush, the current MLW middleweight champion, and the AAA middleweight champion as well, or cruiserweight champion. Brody King, big star. Hikuleo, very, very talented. Ren Narita, one of my absolutely favorite young lions, who's now on excursion in the United States. Clark Connors, just a tremendous wrestler. Everybody in here is so talented. But when all is said and done, my heart wants Ren Narita to win. I'm a big Ren Narita fan. I love Ren Narita. Very talented. He's going to be a huge star in New Japan when he gets back to Japan, when his excursion is over. I love Ren Narita. My heart's going with Ren Narita, but my head is going with Hikuleo. So I'm going to say Hikuleo is going to win the New Japan Cup USA, and he's going to go on to face Jon Moxley for the IWGP US Championship down the road. So he'll get that briefcase, and he'll chase Jon Moxley, or maybe Jon Moxley will show up immediately and give him that shot right away. And now that the Forbidden Door between AEW and New Japan is also kicked in, but that's my pick. And if Ren Narita happens to win, I'll be cool with that as well. I'll be cool with that as well. But again, keep your eye on Ren Narita. When he gets back to Japan, when he's done with excursion, he is going to be an absolute megastar for New Japan Pro Wrestling. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, we were going to get to Andrade. So let's talk about Andrade briefly, and then we'll wrap this up. Not going to rip it up. We're going to wrap it up. But first, I'm going to take a sip of Buble. Sip of Buble. Nice plug for Buble. That's for George Mackay. Cheers, George. He's a big fan of Buble as well. All right, so where will Andrade end up? First off, let me talk about Andrade. Andrade, as we know, he was just granted his release from the WWE. He said he loves professional wrestling. He didn't want to sit in catering anymore. He said it's not about the money, it's about his love for wrestling. And he wanted his release, and he's released, and he doesn't have a 90-day non-compete clause, so he could wrestle right now if he wanted to for any promotion. And he did tweet out on social media that he is in negotiation right now with the promotion. So where is he going to end up? Where would Andrade end up? A lot of people were speculating that he's going to show up at Ring of Honor's 19th anniversary show and align himself with Rush and the rest of the Ingobernables. But that didn't happen. But he could still show up in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is definitely a destination. AEW is another destination we might see him Of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. He could make a return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think he would be absolutely fantastic back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He could team up with Los Ingobernables de Japan, align himself with Naito, Sonata, and Takagi. I think that would be awesome. Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling needs a top star, and he would fit that bill well. So Impact Wrestling. So where do I think he's going to end up? Where do I think he's going to end up? Is he going back to Mexico, back to AAA? I don't know. Is he going to CMLL in Mexico? I don't think I don't think he's wants to. I don't think he's going to sign a long-term contract only because of what happened with the WWE. I don't think I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to sign a contract, but he's gonna kind of keep it open, kind of like something like TJP is doing, where TJP can wrestle for Impact. He wrestles for New Japan. We see him in New Japan Strong. He wrestles for MLW, so he keeps an open contract. I think Andrade might be doing that as well. But if he was going to end up in one place, I think he's going to go back to Japan. I think New Japan Pro Wrestling is a great spot for Andrade to showcase his skills, because Lord knows he is so super talented, and the WWE, they just wasted his skills, and I think he will be great in New Japan Pro Wrestling. If he could go to AEW, but I think he might get a little lost in the shuffle there. He might get a little lost there. They're signing a lot of big stars there, a lot of newcomers. You have AEW Dark Elevation, where they're constantly looking for new talent and they're signing new stars. So he might get lost in the shuffle there. I Impact Wrestling, I think, would be a good destination, as I said, because he would be immediately the top guy there, and I could see him infused with Eddie Edwards. I could see him feuding with. Would have a great match with Chris Bay. Josh Alexander would be a great opponent. So Impact Wrestling would be a very good destination for him as well, and Lord knows they could afford him. And if he goes to Impact Wrestling, I mean that door is kicked in. The forbidden door is open, so he can realistically sign with Impact Wrestling and work in New Japan as well. Well, you could make that same case for AEW, because they do have the forbidden doors open with AEW and New Japan, but I don't think as much as it is right now with Impact Wrestling in New Japan. I think the door is a little more open. It's with AEW and New Japan. I think it just cracked open, but with Impact Wrestling in New Japan, I think it's almost halfway open. So the door's a little further open with New Japan and Impact. Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions Finn Juice Robinson, and Dave Finlay. Have the belts in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they say they want to defend the belts in New Japan. So Impact Wrestling belts are currently in the possession of a New Japan Pro Wrestling tag team, and we see the Impact Wrestling belts on New Japan Pro Wrestling TV, on New Japan Pro Wrestling World. So, and I can see Andrade signing with Impact and signing with New Japan Pro Wrestling as his international promotion, and wrestles for Impact, and then he heads over to New Japan and wrestles for New Japan. I thought the Good Brothers were going to do that. They still might. It could be the pandemic, but I'm seeing like Jeff Cobb traveling back and forth as well. So I don't know if the pandemic is really keeping anybody away. I know Kenta is traveling back and forth as well. So I think that would be a good fit. I think that would be a good fit for Andrade to sign with Impact Wrestling and sign with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and both promotions, and he could go back and forth between the two. They have the working agreements. He could win. He could win like the never openweight title in Japan, bring it back to Impact, and defend it against Eddie Edwards. That would be fantastic. Or defend it against Josh Alexander. So that's where I think. That's what I think is could happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, because only Andrade knows what's going to happen. But I think that would be a great fit. All right. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.